Joe Jaguar Show, your best friend in astronomy, science, and telescopes. Well, I hope at least one of them. Today's video, which was the SV Bony 102 ED versus the Takahashi TSA 102, I actually wanted to put just the one EQ6 out there and just put a dual bar where I can have both scopes instead of bringing two mounts, two telescopes. It's a lot of gear out there, but I did it, but I didn't have a choice. Most of you probably don't know that when I did the testing for the SV Bony 80mm ED versus the Skywatcher Equinox, I actually just put out the EQ5 on. I made myself about 10 minutes a dual mount, and I'll show you how I did that. And that video, most of you didn't see because it was only on the members video. So what I did is I have a Los Mandes plate, 14-inch, and then I also have a 13-inch Vixen bar. So what I did is I just bolted these two together, type of thing like that, and then that's it. Then I put both 80mm here with the Vixen bar on one side, the other Vixen bar here, and I only had one screw holding it. Really, you should have two screws, but because both 80mm were very lightweight, it worked. But there's no way this would have worked with the both 4 inches this way, So how it's supposed to really be done is they really should have like a Vixen clamp, not putting a Vixen rail and then screw it to one of these holes here. It's not enough, right? But for the 280mm, it did well, but it wouldn't have done it for the 4-inch. And I wanted to use maybe one EQ6 instead of two. So here's what I done. I ordered on AliExpress. Let me go get it. Okay, so on AliExpress, I ordered 2 of these, and these are those Vixen clamps. And I believe on a previous video, I showed you one where I put on both of my EQ6s a Los Mandes, like a dual plate that holds a Los Mandes type and a Vixen plate. You saw me put it on. And then on another video, you saw me put one of these on an EQ5, one that is not Vixen ready or a Vixen mounting. It had the older style. And now I ordered 2 more of these, and I'm gonna build my own dual scope bar. I guess that's what it's called, right? So I ordered 2 of these, and they were not too expensive. I believe they were $30 each, Canadian, okay? And then I think the shipping I had to pay on top. So it was, I don't remember exactly, for both of them, it was maybe $80 in total. Companies do sell these things. Now there's 2 versions of these, remember. This one is like a 3.5-inch by 3.5-inch with two big thumb nuts. Now AliExpress and other places, you can get one that's smaller at 2 by 2-inch with only 1 thumb screw. So just take into consideration, this is the slightly bigger, more sturdier version. That's 3.5-inch by 3.5 with 2 locking nuts, not the single locking nut and not the smaller one. So my thinking is I am going to, they're all red color, so it's actually kind of neat. So I am going to do something like mount this one on here, mount this one on there, or mount it like this, and then I can put it in either my EQ5, and I can have 2 scopes side by side, or my EQ6 now, side by side. So when I'm doing smaller telescopes, 80mm, 90mm, even up to 4 inches, 115, maybe maximum 120s, I could probably use one mount, 2 different scopes, and they're going to be about a foot apart or so. And I'm not going to need to bring out 2 mounts, 2 tripods, 2 counterweights, type of thing. But that will make it very convenient, I think. So I'm going to build it myself because they're pretty expensive. Again, even buy one pre-made with the smaller of these, they're in, I don't know, $120, quite a bit. I've already had this bar, so it's not costing me anything. And again, I think this was 80 something with taxes, with shipping. So it's actually pretty good. They were 30 bucks each before tax. So I can build my own for much cheaper. And that's it. So that way I wanted to show you guys how to do it. Tag along with me and we'll try to figure this out, and I'll show you how to do it. So I already kind of looked at my big bin of nuts and bolts and what size I need that would not protrude the screws outside, so then when you put a bar, it's not gonna do that and nothing's gonna be sticking out. So I kind of came out with I believe 3/4 of an inch of a bolt and nut is perfect to mount this guy. So why don't I, there's my screwdriver, why don't I do that? I'll put it on fast forward so you don't have to watch every second, and we're going to try to mount this up, and I'm going to show you guys. Okay guys, so here we go. So I could have 2 scopes on here. Now it's a little tricky because I was trying to get a nut and bolt where it would go inside the Vixen bar. And so it was kind of harder to do that. Okay guys, so I wanted just to show you how it looks a little closer so you can see. So I basically put the screws in the 3 middle ones. That's all you really need. And this type of Vixen bar, as you see, has a long slot up here, a couple in the middle, a long slot. So I use the first hole over here, then these 2 are on the slotted part. So it was fairly easy to do when you have like a larger slot. Now a regular Vixen bar, let's say, that doesn't have slots, you would only have one at the top, one at the bottom, okay? So in this case, you probably will have to drill 2 more holes up here and down here to, I would say, I would use 3. I guess you could just use the 2, the top and the bottom, and should be okay, but why not, if you have a space for the 3rd one, just make it really strong. Now, you could, or I could also add these clamps to this guy if I ever wanted to. I just have to just unscrew these 3 and again just put it onto here. Now on this side of the Losmandy's, there's already like 4 holes here and then several down here, so possible I can make a few fit. And then on this side, I'll flip it over, has 1 at the top, I could probably make that fit, and then again I could put 2 in this slot. So it'd be very easy to convert from a Vixen, if I wanted to this, and then I could use it with my EQ6, which has the dual mount, but I think this is strong enough. Then I can use it on the EQ6 or the EQ5. Anyway guys, there's a close-up of it, and hopefully that helps. So that's how you build one of these guys on the cheap. Now you can buy them already made type of thing, and I think there's even a version I saw, but it's really expensive. I can't remember if it was $320 Canadian, but it has the Losmandy. Well, I've seen one that has the Losmandy's one for bigger scopes, and then there's one that has like the original one that I bought where it has the Losmandy's Vixen one. So this one is just for Vixen one, which I think is good enough for most small to medium telescopes, refractors like up to 4-inch, 115, even 120 millimeter, like something like an Equinox 100, maybe the Evo Star 120. I think those are only about 14 or 15 pounds, so definitely it could go on here. Now if you want something a little bit more stronger, you can, instead of a Vixen plate, you can put the Losmandy's plate with these 2, and then that would be maybe even thicker. That can work as well. That would be very easy for me to do. Just take this off and put these 2, the Losmandy's one. But I think most likely, most of the time I'm going to be using a Vixen is going to be good enough on here. So anyway, so that's how you used it. I have seen These can be pricey depending on what version of these you want. Again, there's a smaller one of these that are 2x2 with only one nut. That's going to be cheaper. Then there's this bigger 3x3 one. Then you could have, you know, your Vixen plate can be 13 inches, 8 inches. Might be a little too close, you know what I mean? Then you could have a Los Mandes version. You could have the even bigger one, the 6-inch that I got for my EQ6s that are Los Mandes Vixen plate. And then you can get like a Los Mandes big plate clamps. So there's several versions of these, but this is going to be good enough for me. And I think now it's going to work perfect. Anyway, guys, so that's it. I think the toughest thing was just what screws to use that it doesn't pop out. Even if they popped out a little bit isn't a big deal because you could always put it on the mount in this middle part. But I just wanted to see if I can hide everything and nothing will catch, it'll be smooth. I just got to tighten them up a tiny bit more. Like I said, I just need like a needle nose pliers and then I'm good to go. Anyway, guys, so that's it. I'll see you on the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you know anybody getting in the hobby. If you want to share my link, that would be great. If you're on the forums and maybe somebody's asked how to build one of these things, share my link if you don't mind. I do have members video, I'll put it up. And once a month I put up videos just for the members, the Patreon members. And that's a video that doesn't go on the normal channel. That's your benefit of joining. It's only 99 cents. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I try to make it as cheap as possible so anybody can join and you get a video that you're not going to see. Plus I put your name on the description. Anyway, guys, why not you? Why not me?